Previously on Reaction and Review.
Unlike, Puppet Master Month where I basically, locked in and said, I'm doing 8 of these fucking things, I might cover all 5 of these in Reaction and Review, but they are not going to be in consecutive episodes. So I might wind up covering, the Prophecy 2, a month from now. Who knows? Wow, has it really been 23 months? Jesus Christ. Okay, guys, I have 2 things. First of all, it is really good to see that we are shown exactly how Gabriel is brought back to Earth after being essentially, banished to hell in the first one. It's also good to see that hell apparently is only about 1.5 feet below friggin' Los Angeles, which would probably explain why LA is such an absolute shithole. So far, guys, this movie's shaping up to be okay. Okay, those really are creepy fucking twins. Besides the fact that they both just look creepy, the fact that they both insist on speaking in fucking unison is just creepy as all fuck. And the fact that they're robot things probably explains why they're so fucking creepy. And the talking severed head is even creepier. Okay, yeah, this movie's gotten a hell of a lot better, guys. Now, the other bit of trivia I know about this is a little bit more, let's just say, negative and kind of sad, and that is that when this movie was made, it was shot in a desert in Utah that was about 20 miles away from a nuclear test site. And as a result of that, most of the cast and crew died of cancer, including John Wayne. Now, you would think that a little piece of trivia like that would have to be something that a person would have to actively look up. And I did. However, the people who put out this, DVD decided that it'd be a good idea to mention it on the back of the disc. No, I am not kidding. They actually mention the fact that most of the cast and crew contracted cancer because they worked on this movie. Okay, so we are off to a rather cool start. I wasn't expecting to see a student's head get crushed, by the wheels of the subway train. That was certainly good and disgusting, and the copious amounts of blood are also a little bit sick. So far, guys, this movie's starting off great. Okay. I really hope that we get a friggin' explanation as to why there's a giant roll of stitched up human fucking skin in this, sports bag. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking second here. Are you telling me that every time that your toast lands jelly side down, it's because the devil is present? That is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard. Holy shit. And the worst part about all of this, guys, the one thing that is going to haunt me now is the fact that Devil is now in my Netflix viewing history, which means now I am probably going to get recommendations because I was stupid enough to watch this shit piece on Netflix. Yippee.
Enjoying the movie?
I am so glad you asked that movie. No, I am not enjoying the movie. This movie is a piece of shit, and I can't wait for it to fucking end. Alright, guys, I honestly have to ask this. How the hell did a movie this shitty get a fucking star as big as Robert fucking Loggia to be in it? I'm wondering exactly what kind of a bet Robert friggin' Loggia lost to have to be in a movie this absolutely mind-bendingly stupid. I'm really kind of curious, guys, about that, and I'm really wondering it more because this movie's getting duller with every passing second. Tonight, guys, I'm covering an animated movie from 2013 that I really don't want to watch, but people refuse to shut up about it, so I'm gonna finally just hammer out the stupid thing. Yeah, guys, I'm watching My Little Pony Equestria Girls. Why? Because apparently bronies are not satisfied until every human being on the planet informs them that their franchise is a piece of shit. Well, guys, one thing obviously hasn't fucking changed since the first 2 episodes. The writing is still shallow and shit. Our characters are all dull and boring, and I'm losing the will to live with every passing second. Yippee. So wait a minute. So those kids have rockets on the ends of their bikes, so that way they can, when they get frightened, launch them at oncoming cars? Isn't that like a few dozen shades of not only fucked up, but also totally fucking illegal? Wow. And also, guys, mind you, that honestly was like the closest thing this movie has had to something interesting is a kid launched a model rocket from his bicycle at a fucking cop. And even that was kind of dull. God damn it, this movie fucking sucks. It spends less time trying to be good or funny or interesting or, terrifying, and it spends more time shilling for Converse fucking shoes. Swear to God, guys, this movie's got a mountain of product placement, all of it for Converse shoes. I want you guys to allow this to sink in. Converse willingly allowed this fucking thing to market their shoes. But when the makers of Doctor Who decided that the 10th Doctor was going to wear Converse stepped in and said, no, you have to hide our fucking logo. So, Converse had no problem with this, but they don't like Doctor Who. And for that, Converse can go fuck themselves. The only character whose name I fucking remember is Tuna, and that's because his name is so goddamn stupid. Not only is his name stupid, but a character early on even fucking says his name is stupid. And what exactly is Tuna's whole fucking, contribution to this film? Well, our heroes are all children, and he is the requisite fat kid. Except they couldn't get a fat kid to play their fat kid, so instead they threw him in sweatshirts that looked to be about 4 sizes too big, so that way the bagginess is supposed to make him look chubby. But it doesn't. It looks basically like he's homeless and that he has been scrounging sweaters out of a fucking big and tall shop. It looks terrible. Mind you though, he has to go scrounging for sweaters in a fucking, big and tall dumpster, but he still has money for Converse shoes, because everybody in this movie has money for Converse shoes. Yeah, Converse. Sit and fucking spin. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about the shoes, I swear to God. Okay, I have a bit of a stupid question. Why the hell is there a giant Sega banner at this fucking rave? Yes, guys, I do understand that Sega is the company that made the House of the Dead games. But that fucking banner is placed in just such a way to make it look almost like Sega is advertising this fucking rave, and that just seems kind of fucked up to me. I didn't know Sega was in the habit of advertising and fucking, promoting raves. It just seems kind of odd. God damn it all. Yeah. I kind of forgot that this was a zombie movie, so naturally we have to have zombie Clint Howard. God, go the fuck away, Clint Howard. You can't fucking act, and I'm sick and tired of seeing you. Well, on the plus side, at least this movie's finally found a way to make fucking water fucking polo interesting. Just go sick a giant angry shark on both teams. Just watch the shark eat them. So, hey, at least it made a shitty fucking sport watchable. You know what, guys? It would be a Christmas miracle if this movie ended right now, where this idiotic kid we've been forced to follow for almost 90 minutes falls and has potentially broken her neck. The end. Nothing of value is fucking lost. Please, movie, can you just end? Please? Can we just have, like, a Christmas miracle where she's dead? Please, just, no, of course not. You're gonna keep going for another 20 fucking minutes. God damn it. Okay. So she has bullets which explode like 5 seconds after they go into the body. That was fucking awesome, guys! That was genuinely cool. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna come right out and say it. It never gets old watching those bullets just burst in fucking inside of bodies. It really does look awesome. In fact, I actually kind of wish that I had those sorts of bullets. Then maybe, you know, if I were to go on a killing spree, it would look really cool and flashy. Allow me to try to summarize the, plot for you as I've been able to piece, two together. Somehow, some way, the WWE was able to build their own city. It's creatively called WWE City. And the ghost of a wrestling bear is terrorizing the city, so now Scooby and the gang must team up with the superstars of the WWE to try to thwart the ghost of this wrestling bear before he can wreak any more havoc on WWE City. I couldn't make that kind of stupid bullshit up if I fucking tried, yet that is the plot to this movie. So the language of the masked luchador is interpretive dance. And John Cena just happens to be fluent in masked luchador. I'm not even going to question why the fuck Cena knows how to translate something as retarded as interpretive dance. I'm just going to pretend that fucking makes sense and hope that this gets better. No, dude, this fucking movie is tarnishing the legacy of fucking WWE. God, guys, I cannot wait for this fucking movie to end. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a horror movie from 2003. That movie is Sick, Serial Insane Clown Killer. No, guys, that actually is the title, Sick, and then it tells us that Sick is an acronym for Serial Insane Clown Killer. I am not joking. Now, I don't know if that title means that it's a killer who's dressed as a clown, thus he is a clown killer, or if he is a clown killer, meaning he's someone who has a huge hatred for circus folk and wants to take it out on the clown population. I don't know. Well, guys, plus side is that at least now one of my questions is answered. The title refers to a killer who's dressed as a clown, not someone who kills clowns. At least now that much has been firmly, established. I kind of wish that we could get something good out of this clown, killer, but I strongly doubt it. Did you really just ask if he's fucking dead? He has a giant fuck-off axe jutting out of his back. I really don't think you can fucking survive that, woman. Did I just hear Pa Kent say that people should take cover under the overpass because of the tornado? You do understand that a tornado can and probably will rip a fucking overpass down and crush everybody underneath, right? I totally understand. My God, yes, he said exactly that. Take cover. No, you dumb motherfuckers. That's not how tornadoes work. You find a ditch and you dive in. I lived in the country my whole childhood and I know this. And this thing here is set in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere, Kansas. They should know this shit. I see ditches in the background. What the fuck's going on here? You know, guys, it is sort of sad that right now the only character in this film who's likable in any fucking way at all is Uncle Ben. And considering Spider-Man's origin, he's not going to be around much fucking longer, which makes this whole thing kind of suck just slightly. Oh, wait a minute here. Wait a fucking second. So Peter sets up this whole thing so he can take photos of the fucking lizard. But he uses a camera that has a Property of Peter Parker label on the fucking camera. Because, yeah, there honestly is no way in hell he is going to have to flee and accidentally leave the fucking camera behind. Well, guys, there is one bit of good news. And this is something which is common. In every single Marvel, film, including the really shitty ones, there is always one bright, shining moment, and that is Stan Lee's cameo. And we just saw it. And it was awesome. So wait a minute here. So our villain has all of his power because a magus can only get power if they're serving under a king. So he installed himself as king of a bunch of beastly creatures. I really didn't know you could just randomly walk in somewhere and go, "Behold, I am king." I didn't think that fucking worked. That seriously, guys, like the dumbest fucking loophole I think I've ever fucking heard. My God, that was just fucking retarded. Yeah, This is what I really wanted to see, guys. I wanted to see Marlon Wayans having a three-way with two fucking stuffed animals. That is really what I signed up for when I said, hey, I want to watch a movie called A Haunted House. Oh, I guess it turned into an orgy. He added a third one in there for a couple of seconds. The fuck am I watching? Tonight, guys, is a night I've been dreading for a long time, you see. Tonight, I'm taking a look at a fantasy romance film from 2008. That movie is Twilight. Oh, God. I don't think this is going to be a fun ride, guys. Because I'm not just doing Twilight, but over the course of this month, I have to do all 5 of them. Because a couple of people thought it'd be real cute to buy this for me. So, yay! This month could possibly suck. I am still pissed off that I was dumb enough to put this stupid thing on the fucking wish list. And, Howard, Kari, I don't know why you sent this to me. And I really do not care. But at some point, I'm going to make you both pay greatly. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a supernatural romance film from 2009. I can't even believe that's a fucking genre. I'm going to sit through this thing, and I swear to God, it had better be at least a little bit better than the first one. However, though, this series can really only go up from the first one, right? I mean, there is no way we're gonna get 5 movies with the same lifeless shit, right? Well, guys, Harry has always been known for his tactfulness, and, you know, nothing honestly is going to get you files faster than calling the person who has to find the files a pencil-pushing son of a bitch. Frankly, I really think that is what I would do if I was incredibly pissed, so fuck, you know, good on him. You know, guys, I never really thought I would see a scene in one of these Dirty Harry films where Harry is shaking down a priest in a fucking confessional. But that is exactly what that's exactly what I just saw. He just finished talking to him in the friggin' confessional. But still, Dirty Harry shook down a priest in a confessional. That honestly is really fucking cool, guys. How the fuck can you tell that is a belly button? It barely looks like a belly button. Jesus God. Alright, so apparently the creeper demon, whatever the fuck he's called, has made more of these like ninja stars. One of them was made out of Justin Long's belly button. And apparently the driver of this bus is able to friggin', you know, identify a hole in the middle of a small patch of skin as a belly button just quickly as hell. That doesn't make a lick of sense at all. Now, I have seen a scene, or rather a clip from Apocalypse Zero. I saw it on YouTube, and it might still be up on here. And it was a clip where a woman was getting her guts squeezed out of her like she was a tube of toothpaste. It was actually a little bit sick. Now, I have no idea why she was being squeezed like a tube of toothpaste, and I don't know if that's just a normal scene for this, or if that's perhaps like the peak of all the gore this thing apparently gives. I have no idea. I'm also curious exactly, how we lead up to person getting squeezed like toothpaste. Okay, and now I'm watching as a rabbit's throat is getting slit. This is incredibly messed up, guys, and I'm feeling really sorry for that poor rabbit. Do we really need to see it bleed out too? My God, guys, that was just wrong. Bob is a street cleaner who's part of a team who basically take care of all of the dead bodies that pop up. What seems sort of weird, and this honestly is kind of sort of a thing involving the filmmaking process, is every time that they are out collecting bodies, they seem to be collecting them in the same German fucking meadow, which I guess perhaps maybe is telling me that Germans just love to dump their bodies out in the middle of peaceful-looking meadows, which means I'm never going to a meadow if I ever visit, Germany, because I don't want to walk into an open-air graveyard. Of course, it couldn't be a gay version of American Pie without somebody horribly violating a baked good. In this instance, it's a quiche. Not only is it a quiche, but the guy's also got a gerbil crawling up his ass. Why the fuck am I watching this again? Okay, guys, I can see in the background what is supposed to be a wanted poster. I'm really, really happy with the fact that the picture on the wanted poster is just the headshot of Ed fucking Wood. The problem is that the poster is just his headshot tacked onto the wall. And then above that is a strip of tape, and they just wrote "wanted" on the strip of tape. It is the cheapest wanted poster you could ever see, but it actually is far more interesting than anything else going on in this fucking scene. Okay, I have a rather stupid question. So one of our victims, instead of being killed, decided to jump out of a plate fucking glass door on the ground floor. Everybody has a real easy way of getting out. Just go out the freshly shattered open door. Yet, instead they want to go into the basement and crawl out of the tiny window there. Guys, I totally understand that characters in slasher films are supposed to be stupid. But they're not supposed to be this fucking stupid, guys. This thing is just incredibly insulting. This thing here, guys... this here was essentially kind of attempting to rehash the first film, but it didn't have any of the interest from the first film, and the first film was shit too. I mean, my God, guys, when you honestly are trying to rehash a shitty film, and you can't even come close to, the quality of that film, you have fucked up somewhere. And I am not just talking about fucked up in, filmmaking. You have fucked up in life somewhere. She has a teddy bear that humps her leg. Okay, that's kind of different. It's a little bit wrong, kind of fucked up. It is certainly kind of funny. It also is not what I was expecting, which is always awesome. And the movie literally ends with the corpse of Robert Louis Stevenson turning in his fucking grave. That was awesome. Anyway, guys, that was Jekyll and Hyde together again. Let's shut that off. Holy shit. Alright, I'm gonna tell you right now, that ending was awesome. Just the fucking bit with the corpse of Robert Louis Stevenson literally turning in his grave because they ruined his story. Alright guys, this honestly feels, kind of sad. I'm a longtime DC fan. I could maybe name about half of the villains who just showed up in this shot. I honestly thought I could name more of them, but no, I really only know about half of these. That makes me feel a little bit like less of a nerd. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to It Came From DC Comics here on Reaction and Review. Not only that, my friends, but this is also our 4th anniversary special. Holy shit, guys. I am absolutely stunned that this series has been able to go on for 4 years, and I have found the perfect movie to kick off year 5. Okay. I just saw a person's head explode because they were tased in the face. That was probably the coolest fucking thing I have ever seen. So, our 4 nameless characters are now torturing a random guy because he's wearing a black hoodie. And the person who the cops are looking for, who's killing hookers, also wears a black hoodie. Isn't that, like, profiling and incredibly stupid? Doesn't it seem kind of weird? Okay, that was a lot of blood for just knocking out a tooth. Anyway, doesn't it seem kind of weird that they would just randomly find some random fucking jackoff who just happens to have a black hoodie and go, "It's him!" without any real evidence or proof? I totally understand, guys, that the fucking, writers of this thing are stupid. But this guy's honestly is going beyond fucking stupid. Did they just call him Radon? No. No. That is fucking Rodan, goddammit. Who the fuck thought that it'd be a good idea to swap the O and the A in Rodan's name? That doesn't sound right at all, guys. Okay, guys, I really should mention this because it's really beginning to bother me more and more. Every time that they call him fucking Radon, I cringe just slightly because it's fucking Rodan. The character had been in film at this point for probably a good, 25, 30 years? There is no fucking reason to absolutely botch the character's name that badly. And again, every time they fucking say it, I just cringe a little. It's just wrong. I also want to state that this right here isn't even writing, but this here is dubbing. Whatever company dubbed this thing decided to name him Radon, and I don't know why. It's Rodan. Rodan. R-O-D-A-N. Alright? Again, character had been around for 37 years. There's no way in hell you can fuck a name up that badly without doing it intentionally. You know, guys, I know I've mentioned this already, but the music in this movie is beautiful. These songs are fantastic. I'm gonna have to download the soundtrack when I'm done filming this. I have no clue how loyal this is to the book, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I want to read the book. I'm gonna have to go out and buy the book too at some point, because this thing was fantastic, and I'd like to see how the book is. Guys, ultimately, when all is said and done, am I able to recommend the last Unicorn? Oh, fuck yes. This thing is possibly one of the best fantasy films I've seen in a long, long time, guys. This thing, it has awesome writing, fantastic acting, animation that is fluid and smooth and almost perfect, a soundtrack that I have to go and download as soon as I'm done filming this. Guys, this thing, guys, hits every single thing in a fantastic and positive way. Once more, guys, I really think I'm going to have to apologize for not saying much. Just, god damn it, guys, this story is that fucking good. I am absolutely plastered to the fucking screen. I can't wait to see what happens next. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I have seen a lot of mystery films in my life. This thing is probably one of the best, and because of that, I can absolutely recommend The Raven. This movie is awesome, and if you haven't seen it yet, please, by all means, guys, check it out. So, wait a minute, wait. So all of that was a build-up, and now the rest of the film is going to be a flashback to show us how we got to a 50-foot-tall radioactive squirrel wrecking up and destroying the school. Okay, this ought to be kind of interesting. I'm really curious how in the hell we get to that point. This should prove to be interesting. Well, guys, it only took this film an hour, but now it's finally shown us why the film started with a 40-foot nuclear, squirrel ravaging the power plant / technical college. And honestly, it kind of works, but it also feels a little bit lazy. But frankly, I honestly am not going to question it. I'm just happy that they actually showed us why we had a giant nuclear hamster, or a squirrel rather, ravaging the school. All right, I am just happy that they covered that. Tonight, guys, I'm checking out a movie from 1991. That movie is Horror of the Hungry Humongous Hungan. Yes, guys, that actually is the title of this, and before you ask me, no, I don't have a single clue what in the blazing fuck a Hungan is. I actually tried to look it up a couple of minutes ago and came up with nothing. Alright. God, where to fucking start? Let's start with the title. Alright, let's break this title down. Let's see exactly how much of this goddamn thing is accurate. Okay, so, horror. No, this thing was trying to be a horror film, but goddammit, it failed so badly. Hungry. I'd probably say yes if the monster actually fed on any of the victims he kills over the course of this film. But our monster never feeds, so hungry, no. Humongous. Compared to almost every other male actor in the film, our monster is incredibly scrawny, so that also does not apply. And Hungan. Let's boil that down. First of all, as you can see, that is clearly a typo. I know because during the opening narration, they do talk about a voodoo priest, Hungan, which is spelled with an O. It's spelled Houngan, okay? There is no fucking O here. Are there any other voodoo priests in the film? No. There is, though, a voodoo priestess who shows up every so often, except Hungan specifies a male voodoo priest, a voodoo priestess, and I'm hoping that I am pronouncing this correctly, is known as a mambu. So guess what? There is no fucking Hungan in the film. This entire fucking title is a flat-out, flagrant lie. So, wait a second here. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that these three have been in this rubber raft all fucking day. It is now nightfall. They haven't gotten to land yet? There is no fucking lake in this state that is so big that it takes you all goddamn day to go from an island in the middle of it to fucking shore. What the fuck's going on here, guys? So, wait a minute, wait. So, they boated all fucking night, or they boated like all day, but they were still able to swim back to the island and get back to their home. How big is this motherfucking lake? I'm really curious now. Yes, guys, I am dedicating an entire month to Japanese animated films, and I have decided to kick off this month with a movie from 2012. And this movie's title, I swear to God, is way too fucking wordy, but I'm not going to hold that against the film. The movie is Berserk, The Golden Age Arc 1, The Egg of the King. I swear to God, guys, we honestly don't need both of those subtitles in there. Yes, guys, that is two separate subtitles on this film. Well, guys, that was Berserk, The Golden Age Arc 1, The Egg of the King. Let's shut that off. I swear to God, that title doesn't need two subtitles. Who the fuck put... okay, guys, I'm sorry, okay? I swear, guys, the writing in this thing is fantastic. With every passing second, I'm absolutely adoring this story. And this, guys, is the kind of story that will suck you right in. And there's almost no way of getting out of it, man. This thing is fantastic. This thing is fantastic, guys. I loved every frame of this movie, and it is going to have a very happy place in my fucking DVD collection. I am so happy I have this, and guys, I'm even happier now because this, guys, is the first time I've ever found a filmmaker whose entire directorial output was awesome. You know, guys, I just thought of something. This whole fucking duel could be over with one simple card. The only thing that Yugi has to do to stop all of this madness is just play Remove Trap. I know for a fact that that is a card, because I had it in my deck over a decade ago. And it lets you remove a trap card from play. He can then remove the Pyramidal Light, and then he'll have all of his god cards back, and then all this stupid shit with the evil god of death is done. But no, we are not going to get that. No. The writers have to drag this boring goddamn fight out as long as fucking possible, even though there's like the fastest logical way to end it. It really, guys, is just starting to bug me exactly how easy this shit would be to counter, and they haven't countered it yet. It's just bugging me, guys. And also, nobody in this film knows how to properly handle a weapon or swing a weapon, so any time that people are starting to throw out, like, swords and baseball bats and shit, it gets even worse. Okay? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the only time that anything was actually fucking weaponized and it looked halfway decent is when Terry hit a hobo with a garbage bag. That, I swear to God, that is the only time that anything in this film was actually fucking weaponized and it looked halfway decent. Oh my God, guys! I really thought that when I sat down and I said, I'm going to do a video game movie month. I'm going to avoid anything directed by Uwe, Boll. It can't be that bad. This thing makes any of Uwe Boll's films look like fucking gold. Well, guys, now we get a look at the BFG. My God, that gun is a thing of beauty. Can I buy that anywhere? I'm not actually talking about like a functional one. I just want that fucking model. I would happily put it up somewhere. That gun looks fucking sweet. Okay, I said earlier I just wanted a model of the BFG. Is there any chance I could get like a fully functioning model? Holy fuck, that was a lot of damage. I want that goddamn gun. I really do. That is fucking awesome. Now, whenever I would talk to people about what I had scheduled for this month of video game movies, I would wind up mentioning this one, and every time I would get one of two reactions. Now, the most common one was, what the hell is Heavenly Sword? For those of you who don't know, Heavenly Sword is a game that came out in 2007 on the PlayStation 3, which was very quickly forgotten. Now, like, the 2 or 3 people who actually knew about that game would then go, wait, they made a fucking movie based on Heavenly Sword? And I'd have to say yes. Okay, so they've now given the Heavenly Sword to the fucking Chosen One. Can this, never mind, I guess it can't end, because apparently now the Chosen One's dead. Yay! I didn't see that coming from a fucking mile out. He lied blatantly. We are then greeted by a character who shows up, I think, all of 3 times. This character has the most detailed nipples I have ever seen rendered in a fucking CG film. No, I never thought I'd be able to comment about how detailed a person's nipples were as it was rendered in CG, but this fucking shitbag movie gave me reason to, because they put more time into putting detail into this fat bastard's nipples than they did our main character. Okay, guys, this actually is just starting to bug me slightly. Alright, I totally get, guys, that... I totally get that 47 is known for having the barcode on the back of his head. He seriously walks around in public, though. He doesn't try to hide it at all. Like, he doesn't put on, a wig or a hat or something. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, that fucking barcode stands out a lot, and it really kind of stops him from blending in easily. It makes him incredibly identifiable, which you would think would kind of sort of make him a piss-poor hitman, especially in cases such as well, this recent hit where he had to do it in public. If he was fucking seen, it would have been easy as shit to say it is the bald-headed goober with the barcode on the back of his head. I'm just saying, guys, it just seems a little bit off to me, and I totally understand that it is a minor fucking nothing. I just sort of felt that it should be mentioned. Alright, guys, this is starting to bother me now, because 47 has been seen. And the person who saw him saw the barcode on the back of his head. Why isn't he hiding it? Why in fuck would you be walking around in public after you have been spotted and ID'd as the bald goofus with a barcode on the back of your head and not try to hide it at all? It just bothers me a bit, guys. And the saddest part about that is that barring that, the movie is really fucking good. It's just, god damn it, 47. See, look. He right now is in fucking disguise, but he's going out of his way to not cover the barcode. And now he's just been caught by someone else. He has just been ID'd by someone else. Okay, good. At least actually they are going to play up, the fact that dipshit's not hiding his barcode, and it's proving problematic for him. Guys, I totally understand that so far I really have just bitched about a single really irritating point in this film, a point that they still are not trying to work around. Damn it. at least put a hat on. Dude, anyway. Okay, I am a little bit fucking disappointed that my personal favorite Tekken fighter's not in this movie. Where the fuck is King? Where the fuck is anything that has to do with King? They feature a whole bunch of no-name worthless fighters from the games, but no fucking King. That is bullshit, guys. I am calling that right now. But hey, who knows? Perhaps, honestly, this thing could benefit without King, and perhaps maybe the writing will stop being shit. Maybe the acting will be good. Perhaps maybe the fight scenes will be filmed right. Yeah, I don't think any of that's going to fucking happen either. So, the opening credits show dice being rolled through what I'm guessing is supposed to be blood, but looks far more like red paint. And that little opening prologue was probably the funniest goddamn thing I've seen in a long time. Guys, I really think I am in for something awesome here. So the role-playing club in this college are not only too popular for them to get booted off campus, but all of them are leather fucking jacket-wearing tough guys who apparently strike fear and terror into the hearts of this entire campus. My god, that is fucking awesome. Now, I want to tell you guys right now, and this is something that some people have been asking me. People have asked me what my favorite comic book movie of all time has been, and my answer's always been real easy. Sin City. I absolutely adored that movie, and like many people who saw it, I was anxiously awaiting a sequel, and when they finally announced that the sequel was coming out, I was fully ready to go and check it out in theaters. When I finally had an opening in my schedule to go and see this thing in theaters, it had been pulled from almost every theater because it bombed that badly. The very fact, guys, that it comes as close as it did to being as good as the first movie is perfect for me because I would not have expected less. The best part about this, guys, I got this thing on Blu-ray for $3. I have never been happier about parting with $3. This movie is fucking beautiful. This thing is a true work of art. I'm gonna tell you guys, I do not know a lot about this movie. I do happen to remember seeing ads for it way back in 1997. Unfortunately, my fucking memory goes as far as, hey, I happen to remember seeing ads for some stupid action movie with Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I would love to tell you guys anything else about it. Unfortunately, the back of the box doesn't even help, because we have here I am not even joking about this, a one-sentence summary on the back. Allow me to read this for you. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman team up as a world-class counter-terrorist and his flamboyant but deadly weapons dealer in this explosive action-adventure thriller. That is all it says on the back for a plot summary. So wait a minute here. So these aliens attacked every major city on the planet. If that is true, why the hell are we following these 5 worthless assholes in fucking Moscow? There have to be more interesting characters somewhere. In London, in Antwerp, Tokyo, New York, somebody has to be more interesting than these 5 douchebags. My god, why the fuck then are we watching these people when we could be probably watching far more interesting characters in better towns than Moscow? Let me start, guys, by saying this. When I decided I was going to review this, when I, was all set to film this, I had high hopes for this. How high? I actually opened a spot on my Blu-ray shelf specifically so I could put this goddamn thing in there. That is how much I thought this movie was going to be good. Boy, was that ever a waste of time rearranging my Blu-ray collection for a movie that's never going in it. Is his eulogy actually including the history of a town his dad took them to when they were kids? Wow. Guys, there really are a lot of ways you can fuck up a eulogy. This one is sort of new. Damn. Guys, whenever I happen to run into a recently widowed woman, first thing that I totally want to do is tell them a story about how a friend of mine was stabbed and slowly bled out from a fucking neck wound, That's just that series, guys, just really common, like everyday place. God damn. Well, guys, we have just had our titular death at a funeral, and this is probably going to make me sound like a horrible human being. That is probably the funniest goddamn death I've ever seen in the history of film. I'm still thinking about it, guys. It is so fucking funny. Oh, God. I am loving this, guys. So, our serial killer and his documentary film crew have just stumbled on another killer with a documentary crew. And now they're gonna, I guess, kill the fucking competition. Well, I guess that makes sense, because you really do want to be the only serial killer-centric documentary on the market. Otherwise, you would look like a fucking hack. Still, that is certainly kind of clever and sort of cool. I honestly am kind of digging that. You know, guys, I really am shocked at just how absolutely polite the bombs are on this ship. You know, guys, like, well, first of all, the very thought of sentient talking bombs is, not quite totally normal. But the fact that the two bombs we've met in this film have been very, very nice and talkative and polite, it just seems kind of fucked up for something that's built to blow up an entire planet. You know what I mean? Just seems a little odd. Sort of cool, but kind of odd. Okay, guys, I would like to say right now, I really kind of sort of like how the star suit, or, well, let's just call it what it is, a space suit, appears to be made out of dryer hose and muffin tins. I really love how this movie was able to take its ultra-low budget and able to make something work. I, guys, would never have thought about taking like a muffin tin and putting it on the chest of your star suit to make it look like it's got some kind of like device on it. That honestly is really fucking creative and kind of sort of cool. So it's a tiny crew of only 4 people on a ship. Basically, their job is to blow up unstable planets. The bombs have some form of sentience, are able to talk to the crew, and are the most polite characters in the entire film, which I find that to be really cool. I honestly do. Okay, guys, I have a small question, because I'm not as well versed in Daredevil, like lore as I should be. But at what point did Stick lead an army of ninjas? And yes, guys, by the way, the blind guy who was hustling pool earlier is totally Stick. And he commands an army of ninjas. When the fuck did Stick control an army of ninjas? That part is just starting to bug the fuck out of me, because I could have sworn that Stick was just the blind dude that trained Daredevil. Now apparently he's also the one who trained Elektra and has an army of ninjas, because fuck you, that's, why. Anybody with a lot of background in Daredevil want to fill me in if any of that's true? How the hell are human beings supposed to use a time machine? And to top it off, it wasn't even... And the fucking remote is not even the time machine itself. It's just the remote for the time machine. The actual time machine is still in the present time in the prison for lunatic baked goods. No, I don't know why there's a prison for lunatic baked goods. Please don't ask. I also don't know why scientists would be developing a time machine in said prison when it would be the easiest way for any of these lunatic baked goods to escape if they happen to break out. So in 2005, apparently Los Angeles had signs on their beaches, letting everyone know exactly how much radiation was in the ocean water. I totally understand, guys, that Los Angeles is a little bit of a shithole. I really don't think it's gotten that bad yet. I do have to stress yet in the year 2015. It hasn't gotten that shitty, but still, the fact that this movie came out in '92 and they were pessimistic enough to think that that was how bad it was going to be in 2005, at least I'm happy it hasn't gotten that bad, but I can totally see it happening. Wait a sec, seriously? Seriously? A bunch of people are over for a party. Some guy goes, "Hey guys, who wants to fucking do a ritual?" And nobody questions it? I'm sorry, guys, but if somebody were hosting a party and they looked at all of us, they were like, "Okay, guys, I want to do a ritual, like right now." I honestly think I would fucking question that. I mean, perhaps honestly it's just me. Maybe I honestly am just a weirdo. But this seriously just seems a little bit off, guys. Okay, so Jonathan's able to call upon a spirit that can make it rain in his basement. That's totally cool and everything, but, you know, I just can't help but think that that would cause a huge fuck-off mess in the basement. I mean, you know, it's totally cool that you can call on a god who can conjure rain, conjure, you know, wind and lightning, but, well, first of all, why in the hell is the rain not putting out any of the candles in the fucking basement? That's weird. But why the hell would you do it in the basement? Again, that would just cause a massive fuck-off mess. I really think, guys, that Jonathan here is really starting to fucking lose it a bit. So the final fight is going to be between Black Dynamite and a nunchuck-wielding Kung Fu Richard Nixon. You know, guys, you know, first of all, I never thought I would ever say nunchuck-wielding Kung Fu Richard Nixon. That is probably the coolest goddamn thing I have ever heard of. I'm certainly hoping that this final fight is as awesome as the concept of Kung Fu Nixon. Okay, I have a question. This is a real stupid question. I know it has nothing to do with the film itself. Is there a reason why, when she was locked up in the nut house, Trevor and the student he's fucking decided they wanted to paint the apartment a nasty shade of pink I haven't seen outside of a bottle of Pepto-Bismol? Who the fuck would want to live in an apartment that's that disgusting shade of pink? I'm looking at it, guys, I'm thinking, there's no way any human being would ever want to live there. That looks absolutely hideous. It's really sad, guys, when I have to comment on the paint scheme because this movie's not giving me anything else to fucking think about. So she really doesn't notice the massive crack in her fucking coffee mug that's dripped vodka all over the floor and all over her computer monitor. Oh, and now the vodka's dripping into the computer monitor. Yeah. The very fact that she didn't notice that massive crack form and didn't see the huge dollops of vodka dripping out, this stupid bitch deserves to fucking die, and goddammit, I'm gonna smile when she fucking does. Oh, almost. So close. Oh, wait! Yes! Yes, it got her! Serves you fucking right. Yes! Apparently, at some point, way early on in the film, they wanted to make hearing John Denver music like a sign that you were going to die. And the whole thing started because our main character Alex was sitting in the airport bathroom, and all of a sudden Rocky Mountain High starts playing, and he's like, "Duh, there's a song by John fucking Denver, and he died in a plane crash. Oh my God, it is a sign that the plane is going to crash." Thank you for absolutely spelling it out for everybody. Okay, it is very creepy exactly how well the Smurf song lines up with Aerosmith's Walk fucking This Way. That was rather creepy. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to listen to that song the same way, you know. Again, thank you for that movie. And the Smurfs have finally found a use for all the goddamn pigeons that are in fucking New York. Wow. I didn't think anyone would ever be able to find something useful to do with all those fucking pigeons, but I guess honestly using them as flying mounts is kind of perfect when you're, you know, only about yay fucking tall. So, you know, that's at least sort of cool. Okay, the only thing creepier than the Smurf song being lined up with anything from Aerosmith is listening to a few hundred Smurfs use that same song essentially as a war fucking chant. That's awesome! It's just, again, I didn't know how flexible that fucking song actually is. Holy shit, man. Guys, do you know how weird it is to see three Smurfs rapping together? I saw it. Well, I did ask for the next kills to be decent. That one was fucking awesome. And also the scummiest character to have fucking survived that coaster crash is dead. Like, yes, please. I really have to see that fan blade in his fucking head. Come on, man. Close up on it. I want to make sure that this scumbag is... Yes! Oh, that is fucking pleasant. Oh, that's even better. I don't know much about this film, guys. I actually watched the trailer. The only thing that stuck in my head was, like, one of the first things they say is, Santa Claus was a pirate. And my brain shut off. This is a song about the legal binding contract Santa has to sign if the elves are to work for him. I'm not even fucking joking. This is painful. Alright, so the big fucking conflict between Dingle and Santa's over. The movie's still got almost an hour to go. The fuck else do we have to see? Now we have two Easter Island heads that speak like surfers. This movie is shit, guys. And when I honest to God think that the movie cannot get any fucking stupider, it tops itself. My God, there's still like about 20 fucking minutes, left. I'm really curious if it can get any stupider than surfer-accented Easter Island heads. Somehow I really don't think it's going to top that, though. I am still trying to wrap my head around the fact that the Winslows named their son Blue. I'm not even kidding, guys. The Winslows. People who were like the Smurfs' friends in the first film. The son that they had during the closing credits, they named him Blue. The fuck kind of name is that? God, that just sounds fucking stupid. Alright, so the National Guard is there with guns drawn because of a tidal wave. Now mind you, that honestly is all, folks, that the surface knows. There's a huge fuck-off tidal wave heading towards one of the biggest cities in the U.S., Metropolis. What the hell was the National Guard aiming to do? Were they aiming to shoot at the wave? I don't give a shit, guys, now that Ocean fucking Master's shown off his army. Before he showed his army, the National Guard was already there with guns drawn, apparently ready to shoot the water. Yeah. Apparently that is how the National Guard thinks. It's fucking tidal wave, let's shoot it. Brilliant. So, let me see if I've got this straight. So, Superman sees that there's an entire room full of different bottled cities that Brainiac has collected. He disables the ship, thus probably rendering all sorts of life fucking support on all those other bottled cities, renders all those completely dead, kills untold millions, and the only one he saves is Kandor. Holy fuck! Guys, I've seen Superman do some dumb shit. I don't think I've ever seen Superman leave untold millions to fucking die in that kind of a fashion. That is absolutely grotesque and disgusting, dude. The only character here who seems to be interesting in any way is this film's version of Brainiac. And even that gets completely fucked over when at the very end, and this is going to be a mild spoiler, Superman beats him by covering him in mud and telling him to listen to traffic on the highway. And that just blows his fucking mind. So when given an offer to join the Court of Owls, Bruce Wayne puts a tracking beacon on the mask they offered him. Not even like a stealthy beacon. This little dot with a gigantic bright fuck-off light on it. Are you telling me that nobody in the court is going to notice that? The two members of the Court of Owls who stood on either side of him did not see the colossal light jutting off the back of the mask. Guys, I'm going to say right now that scene was totally cool. That seemed a little bit weird that nobody called that Bruce Wayne put something on the mask, especially when it has a giant red light on it that makes it ridiculously noticeable. Okay. Batman piloting a mech suit is probably the coolest fucking thing I have ever seen. And Alfred shooting at ninja zombies with a shotgun is almost as fucking cool. This movie's fucking amazing, guys. Dude, that was great. Alright, well, I know what I'm doing as soon as I'm done filming. I'm probably going to go and buy the Court of Owls trade. I really want to give that shit a read now. I want to see how close it was to this. Okay, this kid has got to have, like, the strongest crutch in the history of anything. So far, he's been able to gouge out one person's eye with it, was able to block a sword swing with it, and now just impaled the dude who had the sword with his fucking crutch. And by the looks of it, it's a plain wooden crutch. I didn't think that a wooden crutch was that fucking powerful. Moreover, I wish I could tell you what the fuck is going on in this movie, but the sound mix has gotten so horrible I can barely understand any of the fucking dialogue. So, I'm totally fucking lost, guys. Wait a minute, wait. So, was her magic power just the power to make the intercessor grab a nearby branch and wrap it around his own neck? Oh my god, guys, these fight scenes are getting worse. But, you know, with these fight scenes getting worse, the movie's getting better. This thing is such a glorious disaster. I can't stop watching. It's fucking so awful. But I'm loving every second of it, man. Okay. Story. I don't fucking know. The Intercessor, John Michael Thornton, doesn't even know that he's the Intercessor until he gets visited by a bad comic book drawing that informs... I swear to fuck that's true. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 500th episode of Reaction and Review. Okay, so I have learned something very important today. If you cut off somebody's head, you can carry around the body and use it almost like a super soaker. That's awesome! If I ever happen to go on a murderous spree, I'm probably going to have to remember to fucking do that. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. So, 500 episodes. I understand, guys, that I just did something like this, when I was celebrating the 5th anniversary of Reaction and Review, but it does have to be said once more. I have always had nothing but the utmost respect for you guys. I love the fact that I'm able to come out here and I'm able to make these videos and I'm able to entertain you guys day in and day out, week after week. It has been 5 awesome years. It has been 500 fantastic episodes. And god damn it, I want to thank you guys. It is such a fucking honor coming out here and doing my thing for you guys each and every week. It is so much fun. And I've said it many times in the past, and I'm going to say it one more time. You guys are the best fan base any human being could ever ask for. And I wouldn't trade you guys for anything on fucking earth. They claim that this is a love letter to gorehounds. I'm kind of worried going in because of the screenshots on the back. Now, as per YouTube's terms of service, I can't even show you these because of the nudity and because of the rampant gore. But the very first image on the back here is our killer, the one who has the bull skull mask, carving into the eye of what is obviously a mannequin. A mannequin who has a skin color that has not been on a human being on this planet since Michael Jackson was still walking around. So the Chainsaw Cult's hidden temple has a big sign out front that says "Temple This Way." God, I love this movie. It is so cheesy and stupid. I fucking love it, man. I really have. This movie is awesome, guys. Well, guys, I think I've now seen everything. 2 characters are essentially sword fighting with running chainsaws. And you know what? That is every bit as awesome as I just made it fucking sound. That is amazingly cool. Well, guys, that was Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Let me shut that off. I kind of like how the movie ends with a text screen. I actually have it paused for this, which is coming soon, Student Chainsaw Nurses. I don't think they ever made that movie, but after seeing this one, why the fuck didn't they make Student Chainsaw Nurses? That would have been awesome. You know, guys, there's something very interesting about a man with no arms and no legs lighting a friggin' cigarette. That was a really cool thing to see. I don't think I'd ever be able to fucking do that. That took friggin' skill. It's really cool. Even guys at 62 minutes, with almost a half an hour of the movie, just fucking wholesale ripped out of this thing. It is still a fantastic movie. Just everything, guys, in this movie, it is just a work of art. So am I able to recommend Freaks? You betcha. This thing has earned its title as a certified classic. This movie was amazing. I'm also thrown by the warning they've got at the bottom of the back cover here, which says, "Warning, this program contains nudity, graphic violence, and death by French fries." It doesn't specify if it's the Wizard of Gore or the Gore Girls that has some kind of a French fry kill. Now I'm looking forward to watching both of these because I'm curious how exactly you kill someone with French fries. You know, guys, now this whole kill involving the spike would probably be a lot more interesting if perhaps maybe the editing was a little bit better. Maybe if he wasn't playing with this victim's eye. That's just fucking gross and nasty. But, you know, like, if it didn't jump between the actress, a very obvious dummy as is here where he's God, now he's jabbing into the other eye. The fuck is wrong with you? Or at one point the victim transformed into a man wearing a fucking wig. God, stop playing with the eyes, you sick fuck. That's just... yeah. Right now, there's only one thing that's keeping me interested, and that was that warning I mentioned when I reviewed The Wizard of Gore. And that warning reads as follows. Warning. This program contains nudity, graphic violence, and death by French fries. I got 2 of those in The Wizard of Gore. I didn't get my French fry kill. And my interest in that has been spurred even further because earlier this month, on that very video, on that Wizard of Gore video, somebody commented that the French fry kill in the Gore Girls is actually pretty fucking cool. So yes, guys, I'm watching this bastard for one scene and one scene only, but you know what? I still have hope. Well, I am able to say this much, guys. This movie at least has a likable character. I mean, a genuinely likable, charming character. That's far more than I got out of the Wizard of Gore. But then again, Gentry is only a likable character because he's a snarky smartass and kind of reminds me of me if I was thinner and had a mustache and a cane and an awesome car. Okay, fine. It's just the fact that he's a snarky smartass and that's a lot like me. I kind of dig that. Okay, well, if there's any good news, at least our killer's creative. He's never killed the same victim twice. This time he's killing his victim by literally pounding her ass in with a meat tenderizer. And as far as coming-of-age tales go, it's probably one of the best. I say that because my personal history with coming-of-age movies is not that good. Every single one of them that I have seen have felt empty and hollow and lifeless. And this thing is dripping with personality and soul. And it's going to suck you in from second one, frame one of this movie. You are going to be absolutely invested. And for the next hour and 40 minutes or so, you are going to be absolutely invested in these characters, in the setting, in what few conflicts are here. You are going to be absolutely immersed in. And that is awesome. Okay. I just saw a 12-legged cat with headlights for eyes just pick up Totoro, just going to assume Totoro is just the name of the big one, and just sort of run off. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, But it looked cool, I can say that much. The whole idea of like a 12-legged headlight, fucking like headlight-eyed cat. Sort of cool. God, that was just sort of weird, though. Cool, but kind of weird. I find it really funny that Theo is trying to talk honor to pirates. They're fucking pirates! There is no honor among pirates! Actually makes this whole speech even fucking funnier. The very fact that the pirates are actually kind of falling for it, that makes it even better. I swear, guys, this movie's fucking awesome. I'm loving it. It's kind of sad, guys. Just when I thought I've heard the most vapid, worthless, shitty song this movie could possibly trudge up, then the next song plays. They get worse as the movie goes on. Fucking hell, guys, this thing here is also going through this here, guys, is like going through the 7 levels of musical hell, and it gets worse with each passing level. My God, guys, this is fucking torturous. This is a fucking 2-hour torture test, and I made it. I made it out. I made it out unfucking scathed. My sanity's always been in question, but it's not any less in question now. Let's just put it that way. Wow, guys. If I take my glasses off and I just watch the movie with my horrendously terrible vision, all of a sudden it almost looks like I'm not watching a rotoscope turd. It actually looks like I'm just watching a regular movie. And it's not nearly as distracting. My God. Which means I have to be damn near blind in order to not deal with the horrendously ugly... God, no, guys, honest to God, the animation in this thing is fucking hideous. Freck is a member of the little drug fucking posse we follow. He actually is the first one that we see as he's scratching invisible aphids out of his fucking hair, and he's showering with his frickin' dog. The problem is twofold involving this actor. The first one is the fact that the actor is constantly mugging, and he has his lips like permanently pursed upon one side of his face. Kind of sort of like this. Always, constantly, always on this side, or else it's over on this side, but he's always mugging for the fucking camera. The other problem is that the fucker mumbles, and that's all he does. Is he sits there, aphids in my head. That's it. That's all he fucking does. You know, guys, I was joking when I said that this town only had a population of about 7 people, but if these fucking worms continue to kill people as fast as they have been, I'm going to be disturbingly accurate with that fucking count, because the people in this town are dropping like fucking flies, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Also, I joked earlier about the population of fucking perfection being only about 7 people. By the end of the movie, I was close. 8 people are left. So I'm pretty damned happy with the fact that I was able to make that kind of an estimate and be that close. So that's awesome. Bert has a mounted graboid head in his basement. That is the coolest fucking thing I think I've ever fucking seen. No, guys, seriously, that was fucking awesome. And, of course, then there was Bert's wife, Heather, who apparently, after the fall of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War, their marriage started to fizzle a little bit, because apparently when the only thing that the two of you have in common is prepping for World War III, and World War III never comes, shit is going to go south. Well, guys, do you guys happen to remember when I covered the first Tremors and I joked about how perfection has a population of 7? Well, I just saw their sign as Bert was driving back into town. Apparently now the town has a population of 5, so it's nice to see that perfection is just a bustling little city in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. Just, wow. I don't think I've ever seen a town with a population of just 5. That just seems kind of sad. the irritating douchebag from the first film is now a real estate agent trying to buy up perfection. I really didn't think that the little fucking turd could get any more irritating, but now that he's a scumbag realtor, I kinda hate him just a little bit fucking more. I don't normally go over like plot fucking synopsis, but I'm gonna try here. So, there's this Dark Lord of some dark fucking dimension who's been told about a prophecy about a leopard-headed warrior in our world. So, the Dark Lord of the Dark Dimension comes to our world and fights the leopard-headed warrior, which is just a high school student who wears a leopard mask when he fights because fuck you, that's why. No, honest to God, he has no other reason besides he found it at home and it fucking it looks cool. So, fuck you, that's why. He finds out that the leopard-headed warrior is his counterpart in our dimension, so he can't fight him and destroy him and thus stop the prophecy, because if he kills him in this world, I guess the Dark Lord of the Dark Dimension dies in the Dark Dimension, so they merge bodies. This is not the first time two characters are going to merge bodies and form one. I just want to make that point clear. So, then we are taken to space because reasons. And these two space-time continuum police officers are noticing, like, fluctuations on Earth. And so one of the officers gets sent down, and he notices, like, psychokinetic readings from this other character who came out of left fucking field, who apparently is a demon hunter who at one point is fighting against the Dark Lord and his otherworldly counterpart, again, merged into one body. And then we find out that the Dark Lord's plan had nothing to do with the fucking prophecy. No, he's here to kill fairies, because fairies are the most evil things on the fucking planet. So now you think that the Demon Hunter and the Dark Lord / earthly buddy are just gonna fight fairies for the rest of the film. And you would be wrong. Because the Fairy Master, who's a minion of the Dark Lord, merges with the Demon Hunter in order to kill the Dark Lord. And at some point, the space-time cop shows up, just magically sprouts Guyver-esque body armor, because fuck you, that's fucking why. And he tries to stop both the Dark Lord and the Fairy Master Demon Hunter, and fails at all of that. It's just, fuck, I couldn't make heads or tails of this thing, guys. So let me see if I understand this. Our villain is a lunatic who's continuing her father's research from World War II and is creating half-human, half-fishman immortal soldiers for the glory of Japan. Okay. I guess that sounds cool. I mean, it does sort of sound, I'm trying to make sense of it, but at least it sounds sort of cool. And this is going to be a spoiler for about the next 30, maybe 45 seconds. So if you don't want spoilers, mute it, and I'll just sort of go like this to let you know that the spoilers have passed, alright? Okay, so apparently Gamera has some kind of attack. I did not know this was part of Gamera's, like, list of fucking attacks. And the only way to sum it up is, it's like a cross between the Spirit Bomb and the Care Bear Stare, and it is ridiculously effective. Welcome back, those of you who did not want spoilers. So, just sort of thought I'd share that. I can't believe I just waved at the camera like that, too. I feel incredibly foolish. Wait a minute, wait, hang on. Are you trying to tell me that with just a little bit of scrubbing, she was able to get that bright red paint, I'm sorry, I mean blood, off the white fur rug in her living room after she killed her husband? What about the giant blood stain on the white leather chair you killed him in? I'm sorry, guys. I totally understand that is a trivial, stupid thing to wonder about, but I'm kind of curious. Well, it's good to see that she cared so much about her son that she couldn't spell peace correctly on his tombstone. But no, yes, Janice can totally rest in fucking P. That makes absolute sense. God, I love hilarious misspellings like that in Japanese projects, guys. It's just fucking hilarious. Guys, I really wish I could tell you what the fuck is going on in this movie, but I have no fucking clue. It stopped making sense about 15 minutes ago, and it's been pure bat shit ever since. The worst part is when this thing is done, I'm gonna have to try to explain this shit. And I'm at a loss for words as to what to even try to fucking say. I'm kind of hoping that within the last, 20 minutes or so, this movie starts to make a little bit more sense and all this shit gets brought together in some sensible fashion. But right now, I really don't see that fucking happening. I have a question. How the fuck was this lunatic able to plant all of this? And our little burglar dude here didn't notice a single one of them as he was coming in to break into the safe. Oh, but a scant few minutes after, that, all of a sudden, the place is loaded as if Kevin fucking McAllister is off of his meds. What the hell is going on here? Okay, I have to ask, what kind of bullets was that state trooper keeping in his gun that it's able to blow up squad cars in a single shot? I'm really curious about that, guys. Because, it looked really awesome, and I'm wondering if I could get bullets that can just blow up cars in a single shot. That'd actually be a really therapeutic way of just letting off stress. I will say, though, it was really fucking cool, though. Tonight, guys, I'm checking out a film from 1972. That movie is Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which, not only is it a cool title, it's also a very good lesson to live by. Children should not, in fact, play with dead things. Comes off as kind of creepy. Now, I noticed something, and I feel like sharing this. I don't often talk about the blurbs on DVD and Blu-ray covers, but this one here is kind of special, you see. Because on the front we have a normal blurb, normal empty, pointless blurb from Access Hollywood. Access Hollywood will praise anything if you fucking give them like $50 and a smile. But it's the one on the back that really caught me. It's the one blurb on the back. It says better than the original. Now, is this blurb from somebody at say Rolling Stone or the New York Times or Variety or USA fucking Today? Is it from a source that matters? No, it's from some random no-name schlub on MySpace. MySpace. This movie came out in 2012. At that point, MySpace was about as irrelevant as they fucking get. They found the last sad bastard still using MySpace. Found a post he made about this movie and used that as their one positive blurb. Good God. So let me see if I understand the logic here. These two are running from Leatherface, who has a chainsaw. Their option is to go into a house that's made of mostly wood and barricade the door with a couch. Guess what chainsaws can easily cut through? If you guessed a thin wooden door and a fucking couch, bravo! You are officially smarter than the retards in this fucking movie. Good God. I would like to say one thing, guys. There is one actor who's in both the original Death at a Funeral and the remake, and that is Peter Dinklage. For some reason, between the original and this one, Dinklage apparently stopped caring, because his performance here, nowhere near as good as what it was in the original Death at a Funeral. Here he almost seems to just not care in the slightest about being here. He seems to be phoning in his performance. This joke is going to sound really bad, but you could almost say that Dinklage's performance is coming up short. Yes, I feel horrible for saying it, but I don't fucking care. Camera work here is... Oh, and also, I guess going back to acting Dinklage, because Peter Dinklage is the only actor who I noticed is in both films, and he plays the exact same character, because apparently there's a shortage of midgets in Hollywood, so he basically had to take over this. Okay, you know, I was gonna comment on how shit their Stonehenge prop looked. Wondered why they didn't just go to the real Stonehenge and just film there. I guess this kind of explains why you couldn't do Stonehenge domino joke with the actual Stonehenge. Well, I mean, you could, but, you know, the government would probably frown on that, so at least... Still, it would have been nice if the Stonehenge we saw here at least looked decent. Looked kind of tiny and sort of shit. I will say, though, at least that the joke was funny. It's just, I wish that the prop was a little bit better. They also telegraphed the Stonehenge joke, which kind of worked, as Clark sits there and talks about how it has sat here for thousands of years, and it's going to stand for another 1,000 years, and then he backs into one of the pillars, and then the whole thing falls like a big spirally set of fucking dominoes. So for the first round of this, one team has to fight a circus strongman supervillain inside of a steel cage surrounding a trampoline, and the other team has to fight someone who's dressed as Uncle Sam wielding a flamethrower. That's fucking amazing, guys. I am absolutely digging everything going on in this fucking movie. This is fucking amazing. Now, Manpower, I mentioned him earlier, was the guy who was dressed as Uncle Sam and was wielding a flame fucking thrower. And he's also a cannibal. Fancy that. Which I guess makes his name a little bit more fitting because he gets all of his internal energy, all of his power from eating men. Thus he lives on manpower. Get it? Ha ha. Ha. Oh god, I just felt sad there. Anyway, there are some minor issues involving camera work. I will say that much. I saw at least one shot where instead of just using the shot as it normally was, the shot was flipped, which wouldn't have been so bad if there wasn't a giant sign that said pharmacy in the shot, and you now look at it and it's backwards. That honestly is something minor and trivial. It really isn't something that most people are going to look at and go, ha 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 ha, this movie shit because the sign is backwards. Okay, I just noticed something. It was incredibly weird. Is there a reason why Rusty has a poster of turtles mating on his wall? No, guys, I swear to fuck, as they're panning up his wall, he has a giant poster of a turtle humping another turtle. It was really fucking odd. And it was so weird that my eye, gravitated directly towards it. It was really fucking weird. So yeah, I'm really curious now, why the hell does Rusty have horny turtles on his... Okay, that there was kind of funny. Still doesn't stop me from asking, why the hell does Rusty have horny turtles on his fucking wall? That was just wrong. The setting is the titular Westworld, which is a theme park where people can live out their Wild West fantasies, and the entire Wild West look is done using robots who are programmed to not harm anyone until something happens, and then the robots go nuts, and then they try to kill people. So now we have a futuristic theme park where people are running for their lives from the very gimmick that drew them to the park. I should also mention Westworld is written and directed by Michael Crichton, the man who wrote Jurassic Park. Another story about a futuristic theme park where people are running for their lives because the very gimmick that drew them there has somehow gone nutso and wants to kill them. I have a theory. My theory is that at some point during his life, Michael fucking Crichton got really pissed off at a theme park and just held some kind of a deep-seated grudge. So he wrote Westworld and Jurassic Park to essentially look at all of them and go, all of y'all, fuck ya. That is just theory. I could be totally wrong. When you go to Westworld, it is heavily implied that your guns are loaded with live ammo, because when you shoot the robots, they bleed and act like real robots. And if you can't tell the difference unless you look closely at the robot's hands, because somehow they haven't perfected the hands yet, then how the hell do you know you're shooting robots? Moreover, why the fuck would you spend $1,000 a day to run the risk of being potentially shot by some fucking yahoo who thinks that you may be just a robot inside of Westworld? And if they don't find your body right away, do they still charge you the $1,000 a day if your corpse is there? I'm sorry, guys, now this is just opening up even more fucking questions. I'm kind of hoping at least some of those are answered here. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna say this. I thought it was a little bit weird when I saw Bat fucking Woman kick a crate of guns off the side of this truck, spreading tons of guns all over the fucking road. I thought that seemed a little bit weird. And she's throwing even more of them on the road. But they aren't just guns. They're laser cannons. Batwoman is spreading laser cannons all over the fucking road. That means that anybody who's just driving by can just randomly grab one, and boom, they now have a laser fucking cannon. What the fuck kind of gang is transporting laser cannons? That just seems... You'd think you'd ship them in a slightly better fashion than just covering the boxes with cloth and then driving down the road in an open truck. This whole thing seems a little bit dumb, guys, but the fact that now the streets of Gotham are now littered with laser cannons just seems a little bit weird to me. So this movie just tried to say that the Bible is against drinking. Am I wrong, or was there a bit in the Bible where before he was crucified, Jesus threw a party with all of his buddies, conjured up a shitload of wine, and had a massive kegger? Perhaps maybe I'm reading into that wrong. Point is, Jesus fucking drank, and he let all of his buddies drink with him. To say that the Bible is against drinking is a straight up fucking lie. Holy shit, man. Yes, the Blu-ray I got from Horror Pack came with 2 pairs of 3D glasses. And as has been the way with Reaction and Review, when I get a movie in 3D and it comes with 3D glasses, I kinda have to watch it in 3D. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel like I'm getting the whole fucking experience from the movie. So, I probably look like an absolute goofus with these damn things on, but oh well, I really don't care. Jesus Christ. Hang on. Whoa. Ah. Holy shit. That hurt a lot more than I thought, taking off these fucking things. Holy shit. Give me a sec, guys. I gotta kinda, refocus here. Wow. And now, this eye's all tinted red. This eye's all tinted blue. Yeah, that's gonna take a bit for my eyes to fully adjust and fix. Holy. Now, a little bit of a story about how I came to know about Lumberjack Man. You see, I was first told about this movie by a coworker. Actually, to be a bit more specific, it was one of my supervisors, who had watched it on TV, could not remember the title. The only thing he knew was it had something to do with a demon lumberjack dragging a giant wagon full of pancakes in the woods and killing horny teenagers at a summer camp. I honestly thought that he was lying until I looked it up and found out that sure as shit, the goddamn thing is real. And then, at that point, I knew I had to watch it. And I really wish I could tell you guys anything else about this movie outside of the kills are awesome. Unfortunately, that's really all this movie has going for it. The acting is... Did she just put shrimp sauce in that pancake mix? That looked fucking disgusting. Anyway, I'm not gonna comment on that. So, I have hopes. After all, there's no way this thing can possibly be worse than the original Violent Shit. The only way this thing could be worse than the original Violent Shit is if my laptop randomly catches fire while fucking watching the goddamn thing. Please, dear God, do not let my laptop randomly catch fire while I'm watching this fucking thing. That'd be a horrible way for my new laptop to fucking go out. Okay, guys, there was a lot of shit I was expecting to see in this movie. I was not expecting a scene where Frankenstein is being hassled by ninjas in a cornfield. But you know what? Still fucking cool. Good news, guys. This movie's starting to make a little bit of sense to me. I don't know if that's because the movie itself is making sense or if I'm just slowly going mad, but either way, at least it's making a little bit of sense. So, Squeeze-It Henderson is now talking to chickens. No, guys, there really isn't a whole lot of context to that, just the character Squeeze-It, who we've seen throughout most of the film, is just talking to a chicken. And the chicken was talking back. And it still kind of made a little bit of sense. Oh my god, I really do believe that this movie is driving me fucking nuts. Mind you, I am not fucking bitching because at least this trip into fucking lunacy is fun. But still, just, there shouldn't be sense to a man talks to a chicken and the chicken answers back. Yet, that makes total sense to me right now. Feels very odd. So, apparently, while they were storming the impound lot, a couple of the guys found a car which has a hood latch release that is so strong it can catapult dogs great distances. I wish I had a car that had that kind of a powerful release on the hood, because then I'd probably spend my whole time just catapulting small animals great distances to just see how far I could fling them. I'm sorry, guys, I really thought that was sort of cool. It really fucking was. Hell yeah. Well, guys, I find this kind of fascinating. Our three surviving characters have, or well, at least they're trying to tame this, monster, which is really cool and all, but I don't think that they've yet grasped the fact that it's killed 6 people in about the last, hour. 3 of which were direct family members. But hey, fuck all of that. We taught it how to eat, and we're teaching it how to speak, so I guess that amounts to something, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna comment on something. It's incredibly trivial, but it's bugging the fuck out of me. So, we are at the morgue. There's a sign on the wall that says that the cooler that stores the bodies is to maintain a temperature of 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is below freezing. There is no morgue on Earth that stores bodies at 30 degrees Fahrenheit because when it's below freezing, it begins to damage the bodies. Especially a police morgue where they might want to go over the body and look for any kind of suspicious wounds and shit. Very hard to see that if the body is breaking down because the cooler is below freezing. I know, guys, it's trivial, it's stupid. I'm probably the only person who looked at that sign and even thought about that. But I noticed it, and it bugged the fuck out of me. Okay. We just had a severed head float around, bite another person in the ass, vomit up a ton of water. That was certainly odd. A little bit odder than I was really fucking expecting. That was... God, what the fuck did I just see? So, one of them's being eaten by a piano now. That's certainly a thing. It's weird, I'll say that much. It's odd, but hey, plus side, she can't play that fucking song anymore. So, that's totally a positive, man. Hell yeah. So, Howard and Eli's show, their pirate broadcast, has commercials. I just got to see the first one. It was fucking hilarious. That was awesome, dude. Fuck yeah. So, just saw a homemade electric chair. That was fucking awesome, dude. Especially when the victim's head exploded. That was fucking tops, man. This movie is so cool, man. I'm fucking loving this thing. So, let me see if I understand this. So, the dude who did the whole voodoo thingamajig and brought Blackula back, he has no problem with being a vampire, has no problem with living off of the blood of others and never seeing sunlight and all that other fun shit. His problem is that he isn't able to see himself in mirrors anymore. His big problem is that he will never see his own face reflected in a mirror again. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of sort of think you have bigger problems than not being able to see yourself when you are a vampire. You know, the whole sunlight and living off of blood thing. That seems like a bit of a bigger problem to me. I guess perhaps maybe I just have different fucking priorities to this dude. You know what I mean? Angel's Egg is a breathtaking masterpiece in terms of art, but in the aftermath is something that is for a far more casual audience who just wants a fun movie to just sit down and watch. And if that honestly is your sort of thing, by all means, check it out. You will not be disappointed by this movie. It certainly is fun. It is totally easy to just sit down and watch and just get sucked into the story. It honestly is nothing ultimately special, but it still totally works, and I do recommend it. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this installment of Reaction and Review. I think I've rambled on a little bit too long. So, yep, guys, until next time, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.
And that is going to do it for me from here, guys. This has been a hell of a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week with even more Resident Evil 7 Live. Until then, take care, guys. Peace.